All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a battery in a modern vehicle, and I'm going to show you one mistake you want to avoid making in replacing a battery, especially on a modern vehicle. All right, so first up, you want to assess what you'll need to be able to remove the battery. And in this case, this is on an F150, and in particular, it takes a 10 millimeter socket to be able to remove the nuts, one on each stem there. I also have to remove this bolt right here that is holding the mount for the strap that holds the battery in place. So the one mistake that you want to avoid making is you want to have a battery maintainer or a jump starter to be able to connect to the terminals that would be sending a current to the vehicle while you're swapping out the battery. In the modern vehicles, it can be very sensitive as far as the electronics go, and you want to make sure that you continue to send current to the vehicle to maintain the 12-volt power, all the electronics. That way also you won't lose your settings for your radio, that sort of thing, but also you don't want to lose power to the computer. So to do that, I'd recommend having a multimeter to be able to test if your jump starter sends a 12-volt current automatically. There's like portable jump starters that might do it, and you have to check the current because you don't want it to be too far above the 12-volt range because the electronics might not be able to handle, like if it's say 15 or 16 volt, which I did test one of my portable jump starters, and it was right around the 16 volt mark. So I have this portable DeWalt one, and it sends basically a 13 volt through the jumper cables. So this will be sufficient to be able to do the battery swap out. And just to go over real quick on the multimeter, on the setting, you want to set it to this symbol right here. It's like a V with a little dash marks and then a solid line above it. And you want to set it to the 20, which would be selecting for up to 20 volts. And then you'll test the unit that you have to confirm that you're going to be having a continuous power of 12 volt. So I'm going to turn my DeWalt on here. It's going to make a series of beeps, and sorry if it's going to be annoying, but I'll try to eliminate it in video production. I just wanted to show you of testing it. So I'm going to switch it to the dial on. So I have the multimeter on to the 20 right there. I'm going to test positive, negative. And hopefully it's showing up on the camera. It's showing about 13 volt. So that'll be sufficient to be able to do the transfer. And I wanted to show you real quick the example. So I have this Gulu 4000 amp jump starter that I keep in the truck. It's also an inflator too, which I did do a review video of this, and I do highly recommend it because it's capable of doing most gas engines as well as diesel up to a certain amount. And it's definitely more powerful than other options out there. And being an inflator also in a nice compact unit is very handy to have. All right, so I have the jumpers plugged in right now, and I'm going to press on the boost button to activate the jumper cables. And I have the meter on to the 20 volt setting. I'm going to test, which it just turned off. So I don't know if you can see the screen on the multimeter. It says 15.8. Now, I think it might be too high to be able to use it. I'm not a car electrician or anything like that, nor do I pretend to be. But like I mentioned, you don't want the voltage to be much higher than the 12 that the system is rated for. So sending almost 16 volts through the computer could be potentially harmful. So just be careful if you have a unit like this that you're going to be using to power it. It might not do any damage, but I can't guarantee that it won't. So just use caution for whatever you do use to be able to switch out your battery. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work on removing these. So first I'm going to remove this bolt, which this is a 13 millimeter. So there's a pretty long threaded bolt there. So just want to kind of put this off to the side. Now I'll remove the 10 millimeter nut that's holding on the negative terminal. Just want to make sure it's loosened up enough to be able to remove it. All right, I have them both loosened up enough to be able to remove them. Now I'm going to connect the jumper cables, obviously the black to black, red to red, which automatically started my jump starter. You want to make sure it's good on both terminals. Now you got the terminals off. Now you want to remove the battery. Then you can remove the caps to the battery. It's basically as simple as that. Putting them back on, I start with the positive first and then the negative. Now you want to tighten everything down. And you want to be sure you don't over tighten it either. Just to where it's nice and snug, like so. Now at this point that it's reconnected to the battery, the new battery now, I should be able to disconnect this. And then make sure you put the positive cover back on to help protect the battery and not create any unnecessary sparks when making contact. Now I'll put the bolt back in place for the strap to hold it down. That's probably the hardest part, is getting that bolt threaded back in place. All right, that should be it. So the total process was about maybe a 10-minute job without filming. So if that, so if you gain any value from this video, I would appreciate it. You do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more DIY tips, tricks, and tool deal videos. I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.